what if I recall correctly, I believe we talked about in Carmen Imes's class about it being dangerous to like go before Yahweh while in a state of being impure. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but if I am, what about it is dangerous given that they're not morally culpable for their state of being?
Yeah, I think it's just like the association with death and then recognizing that he is a God of life and that like we've set up these systems to enter his presence.
Hmm.
And like being associated with death, like although like if you touch a dead body, like that's not something that's morally wrong. It's just a representation of like the force or realm of death. And then you can't bring that into Yahweh's presence. But yeah, I don't know if that
Hmm.
helps make sense. It is all very foreign because it's ancient. Ancient Near Eastern thought is very foreign to us in
Right, right,
general.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and if you remember in the ancient Near Eastern thought in the Old Testament book that we read in her class, John Walton had that um, chapter on sacred space, and he talked about how all cultures kind of had these temples where they section off places for sacred space. And I think we do all have a concept of sacred space in our worldview. I think like maybe like a hospital, let's say, um, and you're sick, but you're not morally culpable for being sick, but you don't want to come into the hospital without doing sanitizing rites or rituals in order to come into the hospital because that needs to be a clean, sterile place. So you're
Hmm.
kind of coming into that tabernacle or that hospital, and then if the priests or the surgeons yeah, so that I think that that's one good analogy that all analogies break down, but I think that that's one that we
Sure.
could we could use if that makes sense. Yeah.